Hey Rambuto, Wolfie here. Hey, good morning everybody. Wolfie here. I'm back on the Allegheny Trail. I am just leaving Route 39 stop here and continuing on. I'm heading southward. Last time I was in this area, I parked my truck here. So I'm trying to continue my footsteps and going south. So I hiked the area north of here this past summer, and then I hopped up to the northern terminus and hiked south down the Blackwater Falls. But everything from there to here I've completed, except for a little bit that I'm going to go back and pick up with my friend. I do have a continuous footpath though, because I took an alternate route, and it's only like an 8-mile section that I'm going to go back and hike with him. But today it's Saturday. It's just past 10 a.m. It is November 23rd, I think it's, yeah, it is November 23rd. And I'm going to try to make it to the southern terminus of the Allegheny Trail, where it meets the Appalachian Trail, and then I have to hike another 5.9 miles to Sugar Camp Farm, to where my truck's parked. I just got dropped off here. The plan today is very aggressive. It may not happen, but I'm hoping to like 17.8 miles today. But that would put me hiking quite a bit after dark. So we'll see how it turns out. So got a little bit of a road walk through here until I get up to this church, and then I turn down the church and head back in the mountains. There is a little bit of snow on the southern side, but I've been lucky. Originally I think they were expecting a bunch of snow and it missed them, but it has been raining the last few days. So right now it is below 40 degrees. But I'm gonna get to hiking, and I'll see you guys a little bit further down the trail. GTFN. So I've hit my first junction. This is the town of Huntersville. You know, Route 39 stop is down there. You can still see it from here. But you know, I've got a road walk down here, and there's my yellow blaze. Here's a yellow arrow back on this tree. But yeah, we're hiking. So it's just at 40 degrees. I just checked my backpack thermometer. It's just at 40 degrees. But there's definitely a breeze going that makes it feel a lot colder. Currently got gloves and toboggan on. So we'll see how everything goes. So getting ready to make my turn up into the woods off the paved road, and it mentions a campground in Far Out. Right there's the TP, and it's not this driveway, it's the next driveway up, and it looks like after I turn onto the trail, maybe. I'm looking. But right there's the campground where you can stay. I was actually considering staying here if I was stuck to my original plans. But since I'm starting so early, I'm not. But it looks like a great field to stay in. And the Actual campground itself is over there. Campground and RV suites. And right there's where I go into the trail. Looks like I got about 1,100 foot of elevation change and about 1.5 miles. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be some steep climbing coming up here. But we will see. So this little area right after I turned off the road, it's called, saw a sign, and it's called Gilden Hollow. This is my first little stream crossing. I've already talked about the incline, but let me turn you around. When I was at the Route 39 stop, I went in and got me an iced sunny bun, or honey bun, iced honey bun. And I ate it as I was doing my road walk from Huntersville into the turnoff. So I've got 710 calories of sugar and other simple carbohydrates in my system for this climb. I did have a breakfast burrito earlier this morning on the drive down here, but that was at 4:30 this morning. Currently I'm carrying 2 liters of water just because I got stopped and got 2 fresh smart water bottles for this trip. My wife, I had one already in my pack and I was planning on reusing it and just refilling it at home, but my wife was concerned that it might be just a little dirty, even though that wasn't my concern. So just to please my wife, who I love very dearly, I stopped and got new ones and chucked the old one, but kept my homemade straw. See right there. But feeling good, feeling strong. Really want to shoot for that 17.8 miles, because in order to finish the trail in the amount of time that I have, which I'm retired, but you know, I am married, so I'm on somebody else's timetable too. In order to finish, I need to do it in 6 days, and I need to average between 16 and 17 miles a day in order to finish by this coming Friday, and to be able to drive home. So here's my fingers crossed that I can knock out those big miles. This is also my final shakedown hike for the AT. Expecting all kinds of weather. It's been raining the last couple days, but looks like the rain stopped for a few days. Looks like it'll be up in the 60s in a day or two, and then drop back down. But I'm hoping that this is a good shakedown of all my winter gear. But we'll see. Beautiful fall trail. No cell signal right now. Maybe I'll get some at the top of this climb. But it looks to be really steep. So I just finished my climb. About a mile. Did 1,250 feet in about a mile. This is the top of Buckley Mountain, and I'm heading down the other side. Making pretty good time so far. The bottom of the mountain, I think I said it was like 40 degrees. It is now 34 degrees with about a 20-mile-an-hour wind. And I got rid of a layer coming up the mountain, but I just did it while I still had my pack on, so I slipped my sleeves back on back there. Probably when I get back out of the wind, I'll take it back off. But as you can see, there's snow up here. Thursday, there was a big snowstorm came through the area, and according to the weather report that I was looking at, this area was supposed to get like 13 inches of snow, but to be honest with you, the ground was too warm for it to stick. And then yesterday it was a warm day with nothing but rain, so you know, you can see how much is still left on the ground. But definitely windy and chilly up on top of this mountain. And I did get cell signal enough to just to check in at home, so that was good. And then I put my phone back on airplane mode, so save some battery. Like I said, so I think I've got like 90 miles to where, give or take, I don't know the exact mileage, I didn't bother to look. I know it's around 90 miles to where Allegheny Trail meets the Appalachian Trail. And we'll see how it goes. I've got a 20,000 milliamp battery, and then another 10 that I'm carrying. One's a night core and one's an anchor. So we'll see how long I can stretch that battery, see if it can go 5 or 6 days, and then I'll know if I can get rid of one of the 10,000 maybe. But we'll see. I'm trying to preserve as much battery as I can, though I do want to film quite a bit. But you can't see it on this camera, but and it's kind of cloudy out, but the view through the trees, since there's no leaves on the trees right now, is just, it's incredible. And the trail has been great. I'm probably gonna have to put my pack cover on, because my pack cover is blazed orange and it is hunting season. So I may, when I stop to take a break, I may have to stop to do that. There's a lot of side trails up in this area too. Sometimes I almost took a wrong turn back there, is what I was getting ready to say. But I just happened to glance through the tree, and up ahead in the trail, about 50 yards, I could barely see another yellow blaze, so I didn't take the wrong turn. But it's well marked. It's just I wasn't paying attention. And I was just chugging along, trying to concentrate on doing my climb and making some miles as fast as I can. That iced honey bun really did the trick, helped me get up that mountain. But let's see anything other interesting. I'll be back. Whew. So I've been hiking 3 hours according to my my watch, and I've covered 6.2 miles. That's not a bad pace, considering I had that big climb there almost right off the bat. But so based on that, that'll put me at my campsite somewhere around 7 o'clock this evening. Hope that's the case. I haven't really taken a break yet, though I did have another snack while I was hiking, had some trail mix. But I'm feeling good for being 6 miles into the day. Was on a 2-lane dirt road for a little bit, so I gained up some time there, and then went back onto a forest road that I'm on now. So the thing is on the western side of the mountains, there is just enough wet snow on the trail, and the leaves are thick and wet that it soaks through my shoes, my socks, and then into my toe socks, and I can feel the wetness. And then when I get on an eastern side of the mountain, when the trail dries out a little bit, you know, my body heat starts to dry out my shoes and my socks, and I start to warm up. But I did, when I was on top of the mountain and still had cell signal, I pulled up an updated forecast, and it's changed. Go figure. Overnight, the most percent chance of precipitation is only 10%, but the low is supposed to be down to 30 degrees. So think when I get down here, I'll just pitch my tent up, my outer with my ground sheet. That's what I'm normally going to wear, and or normally going to sleep under when there's no shelters available. And then I'll just do my one quilt and have the other one ready in case I need to throw it on over the night. We'll see how it works out. But as you can see, there's still snow on the ground, even though we had a warm day yesterday. And I think tomorrow I might try my waterproof socks on with a pair of liners underneath. But we'll see what tomorrow brings. See you guys down the trail further. Not a bad view for a cold and dreary overcast day on the Allegheny Trail. I got to the top of here and just started drizzling just a slightly bit, and then it comes and goes, so I'm hoping it goes and doesn't stick around. But it's been maybe slight drizzle for the last 5 minutes. I gotta keep going that way. I've done almost 7 miles in 3.5 hours, less than 3.5 hours. So I'm coming down the gorge, and there's a series of switchbacks, and the trails are really narrow, and I'm losing time. And it's covered with leaves quite often, and it's slick. But the good side is it's mostly dry, and my feet are getting warm again. Anyway, let me put this camera away before I fall. That would be good for ratings, but not for me. So, I just came down Creek Gorge, and I descended over 1,300 feet in a series of switchbacks. There's so many switchbacks that I lost count, but whew, that was one tough section of trail for me coming downhill the entire time. There was times when I was thinking, if your ankles are weak, this wouldn't be a good section of trail for you. And there's other times where I was wondering how much longer it was going to be to the bottom, and if I was going to trip or stumble and break my neck because the way the trail tread was sloped. It was steep, even with the switchbacks. And I lost count. I mean, I was counting about part way down, and I got to 12, and I was still going down and still had a ways to go, and still kept going. But when you finally come out, you come back into this rhododendron tunnel here, and Beaver Creek is off to my left. I can hear it running, and further down there's a creek ford, a campsite, and a footbridge on far out. Not much further down here. When I get there, I'm gonna take a pack off break, but it definitely slowed me down, slowed my pace down. I probably lost, I was on track to do 10 miles in 5 hours, and it looks like I'm going to be a quarter mile under that, possibly, when I hit my 5 hour mark. I gotta check and see what time sunset is, but that'll judge how far I've got to go with the headlamp. But when I get down here to the creek ford and stuff, I'll show it to you. Just a little creek ford, not much. I think the trail went that way. Gonna have to check far out to be sure. I'm thinking this is the campsite. And right there's the footbridge. I was wrong. We go to the creek for just a little bit. Maybe this was the creek ford they were referencing, not the small one back there. Looks like the water level's low, so it should be a piece of cake. Maybe. Rocks are definitely slick, and leaf cover doesn't help. Hello, Beaver Creek. Let's see. I got 2 minutes and 1.2 of a mile to be on my pace. I don't think it's going to happen. That little creek I crossed wasn't the actual Beaver Creek. It was just a tributary. So I took a pack off break right before the bridge crossing, and I was right. I was a quarter of a mile, 0.23 hundredths of a mile short of making 10 miles in 5 hours. I've got about another hour and a half before sunset, and I've still got 7 miles to go or so. So there's a water source before the campsite at 5. There is another campsite like 5.5 miles away. Going to be slow going because I've got a climb just as steep as my first one starting now. I'll throw a screenshot so you can see the elevation profile, but doesn't look like it's going to be any fun. Go from there all the way up to the top of the tree line if you can see it. But get the trekking poles going and I'll see you up there. So just finished the climb out of Beaver Creek Gorge, and it was tough. It was tough as to climb down into it. A lot of switchbacks. The bottom third of the switchbacks was rocky with a lot of ankle biters, so it made slow going. And then sometimes it was kind of steep after that, but still slightly rocky. But I'm at the top now, and the last 1.25 miles took me just under an hour, so it really slowed me down. Sunset is in about 15 minutes, so then I'll be hiking at dusk, and I'll have to get out the headlamp. As it stands right now, I'm about 50-50 on stopping at the 15-mile mark at a campsite, but I don't know. Depends how cold it gets, what my energy level's like. But that climb out of this trail, whew, that took it out of me. I'd like to say I did it without stopping, but that would be a lie. But it's supposed to come up to a view, but the view is going to be right at dusk, so I don't know how much I'm going to see. But I'll keep you posted of what I'm going to do and why later. I wanted to get this on camera. As it should be. I think that's one of the signs ahead of the 50th. I'm not sure though. Out of the Beaver Creek Gorge. I think I should take a photo of that one, huh? Since I'm done. And the trail goes that way. I've already made the decision that I'm going to call it at 15 miles today. I'm running out of daylight. And where I was going to stop at 17.5, 17.8 is about 3,300 feet, and that's above the snow line right now. So it would definitely be cold and wet up there. So I'm going to drop down to the 15-mile marker and take a rest there. So here's the bad thing about night hiking, and I know you guys can't see anything. And I'm hiking this forest road. I'm in Watauga State Park, and I'll be staying at the Watauga State Park campground when I eventually get there. But back there was a road intersection with two pictures. Well, I didn't pay attention. I just saw a road intersection. The second picture of the road intersection basically showed the trail going off into the woods. So the trail is off to my left, paralleling this forest road. But I would have been hard pressed to navigate it. Well, it's probably a pretty well traveled trail, but I may have been hard pressed to navigate it in the dark because it is pitch dark out here. I shut my headlamp off and could not see. After my eyes adjusted, I still cannot see the road in front of me. But I think I've got like another 2 miles before I get to the campground, and which I'm pretty sure is closed for the season, but we'll see what's open when I get there. There is a creek if I need water. I may look for a picnic shelter and just hold up underneath the picnic shelter for the night if there is one. If not, I'll throw up the tent. But eventually the trail meets back up with this road, and then I hit a paved road that'll take me into the state park, and then I'll be on the lookout for a bench on the left side of the road, and there's a side trail that takes me down into the campground as opposed to walking the road. And here the entire time I was wondering, why am I not seeing any blazes? It's because I'm off trail. I'm taking an alternate route. Whew. So I made it to the intersection where the forest road and the Allegheny Trail came back together with the paved road. And then I paid attention to far out, and for a change, instead of making an assumption. And then I saw that the Allegheny Trail actually re-entered the woods on the far side of the paved road. So that's what I'm on now. I just sat down here on this log. My energy level shot for the day. Just this little incline coming up this hill just about wiped me out. So I'm going to sit here and I got some last of my M&Ms. I'm gonna eat those, and then I'm gonna hike on down, and I think I cross another paved road and re-enter. That's where the bench is, and then re-enter on the opposite side of the paved road back into the trail, and that should be the last section into the campground. Anyway, let's hope that's right, and I'll keep checking far out and make sure I don't make any assumptions. So I made it to camp, and right now I'm cooking my dinner, which I need to take it off real quick. But made it to camp, got set up. I'm at the campground. It's set up on a lot, and there's even electricity really close to me, so I got my phone charging. It is 9:30. Got everything stretched out here, getting ready to hit the hay. So it was 15 miles according to far out, and probably closer to 16 and a half because of where I walked that road. Even though it was faster, it was longer. So anyway, I'll show you where I'm at, hopefully, before I start breaking, if I can remember. Tomorrow morning I'll show you the camp where I was at. But until then, I will talk to you later.